Welcome to another episode. I've just finished recording with Harshit Mahajan. Harshit is a 21-year-old college going guy, and he's already achieved great things in his life. He's into data science. He is creating buildathons, something that isn't really famous in India, but he said that it's something that's very prevalent in the West. So he's trying to inculcate that culture over here. We spoke a lot about hackathons, buildathons. We spoke about team building. We spoke about how to find the right people for your team. We spoke a lot about handling college life and much more. I think it was a great conversation. This is essentially a 21-year-old giving advice to an 18-year-old on just life. So that way it's very raw and authentic. I know that you guys will love this. Um, One reason why I love this episode is because I found that Harshit is someone who has extreme clarity in thought, and the way he explains things, the way he simplifies things are very easy to understand to a normal person. So yeah, sit back, relax, and enjoy another episode of Middle Spots. Harshit Mahajan, thank you so much for coming, man. I've been wanting to do this with you for a long time because I just know that there's so much value that you can give me and other people of my age. Uh, how are you? How are you feeling? How's life been these days, man?
Good, good, man. Pretty good. Pretty exciting.
Yeah, I know that you're building a lot of stuff and there's a lot of exciting things that you're doing, and I sort of want to get into that. But I'm going to get straight into like a very deep question. Okay, tell me three things that you wish you knew when you were 18. You're 21 right now. Tell me three things that you wish you knew when you were 18.
Uh, I would say the importance of time management.
Okay.
Then second one would be not to take things too seriously. That would be another thing that I learned. Like, don't put a lot of pressure on yourself. Like just go with the flow. Go one step at a time. And third would be have fun. Have a life besides work. Like, do have some hobbies that keeps your brain at peace.
Okay. You spoke about not to take things too seriously. Can you go a little? Can you explain what exactly you mean by that?
Okay, so like let's take an example. Like let's suppose I'm building something. Okay, like I'm building a hackathon. I'm building a community org. So the things that I can do alone would मेरे को बहुत it would be like too much pressure for myself, and even if I take that much pressure, things are still gonna go when they have to go. Like time उतना ही लगेगा at any point of time, and there is no point in taking too much stress over one thing. Like relax, enjoy the process. When you take too much stress, you don't enjoy the process. You just aim for the end goal. Enjoy the process, take the flow, and have a life. Na enjoy also, because
Okay.
work is not everything. Like when you are building something, stress is there, but you also need to enjoy. So don't take things too seriously. Like you should have a seriousness, but not over your life.
Okay, bro, wait. You spoke about taking too much pressure on yourself, right? Do you think that's a common problem? Do you think young people who are ambitious take a lot of pressure on themselves these days, this generation?
Yeah, even I was someone who did that. Like the whole social media and everything, you feel like you are not doing anything and all that stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
like give things time, build like give things time, they'll fall into place. Like you are too young. Like I'm 21, you are 18. We are like, we haven't even seen a lot of stuff yet. We
yeah,
are too young
yeah.
to even take so much pressure. Everyone should have a life, like have hobbies, enjoy, play, go out, maybe cook, whatever you like, play games. But like work is not everything. That is what I learned. Like you have family, you have friends, you need to enjoy, like having a balance. Otherwise you would be like overworked, exhausted, mentally exhausted, cranky, all that stuff.
You know, it's an interesting point that you talk about having balance. But you know, I keep seeing a lot of successful people say that if you want to achieve greatness, especially at a young age, you shouldn't be balanced. It's something that it's going against what you say. They say that you should completely focus, push yourself in one direction, and especially at a young age, you shouldn't be that having a balanced life, right? What do you say about that?
Okay,
Yeah,
so like you see a lot of stuff that is on social media, right?
yeah,
So even if I'll take example of Andrew Huberman. like one of the
Okay.
greatest
Yeah.
people you can
Yeah.
find around
Great
productivity.
guy. Correct.
Okay, so sure, you should be dedicated at one thing. All your focus should be at one thing. But even that time, you still need 8 hours of sleep. You still need to hit the gym. I am saying you can relax. You can relax. Gym may be a form of relaxing. Like I work out every day. That is my way of, getting to know myself, getting back together, having a good sleep, having good food. That is something that I enjoy. So it is not about going out with your friends, going out to movies or something. It is about like having a balance with work, but keeping yourself active, keeping yourself together. You don't have to lose yourself in the process.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. You spoke about gym, right? Do you
Yeah.
are you has that helped you a lot? Can you talk about some benefits of? I know a gym is, it's that culture that has developed over the past few years, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's been working out, everyone's been going to the gym. Do you think that's a positive? That's in a positive direction?
Like then that again depends on what your goal is. Like I've been going for the last 2.5 3 years now. So I have managed my gym with college, without college, with work, everything. So it is, so for me it is like a part of my routine, it is like a part of my day. So for me it is very spontaneous, like I have to go, and that is like my way of having a good day. And then again, if your aim is bodybuilding, your whole gym routine will look like a different thing. Mine is to like just be active, keep my body in
Be active.
shape,
Yep. Yep.
be active, keep my body in shape, keep my mind active. And one thing I learned from gym is that power of concentration, the power, like how much your mind plays. Like gym mein, it is not about body. I always say it is more about the mind. It is a mental game. From
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
to gym to hitting the reps, it is a mental game. So that is what gym helped me figure out.
And I think there's a lot of willpower that is needed, right? There's a lot of
Yes.
days where you don't feel like going,
Yeah.
but when you go, I think that little bit of willpower of inside you increases. And
Yes. It is a
you
lot
know,
like mentally challenging.
yeah, yeah. You spoke about hackathons. I just want to get back to that. Can you explain to, like you would explain to a 5-year-old, what a hackathon is?
Okay, so in general, let's figure out hackathon. So hackathon is something. Let's suppose I thought of an idea. I want to build an food tracker app. Ki, how much food intake I do. So hackathon is a place. Maybe you don't have the best teammates to build that app, but you have an idea. You want to explore it more. You want to like give it a try. Hackathon would be something you come together at a place like 36 hours, 24 hours. You in a single stretch, you sit at that place, you build the hacker, you build your first prototype, maybe learn some YouTube tutorial, get started on that, find teammates, have mentors obviously in all the hackathons. You find the mentors, you get that thing from 0 to 1. The main aim for hackathon is to go from 0 to 1, not 0 to 100.
Okay.
0 to 1 is the aim of going to hackathon. Hackathon means कोई idea है, you ideate on it, you build on it, and you get the first initial push you want. In general, hackathons are this, and it is a very friendly competition between your peers. You go, you play with them, you chill with them, you sleep with them, eat everything. एक ही जगह पे सोते हो, कोई बेड्स नहीं, कुछ नहीं. You sleep on the floor.
Okay.
जैसे जैसे सोना है, उठे रहो.
Wow.
So it is that kind of a thing.
So this is great for someone who is like completely into web development, coding. Am I right in saying that?
Not really.
Okay.
So hackathons in general is something that is considered for tech. But if you look at in the broader term, hackathons, let's suppose I'm building a product, and if it is an app, I would need a good designer to help me design the product as well. I would need a someone who is a good marketer to help me market the product. Maybe that is not required in hackathon, but the designer would be required in hackathon because you have to somewhat show and display. So hackathons, and so there are like two type of things that I consider. One is a hackathon, one is a buildathon. Buildathon is something where you come together. Anyone from any niche can come together. Maybe an artist, maybe a singer, a social media manager, anything and everyone. They can come, they can build together, they can learn from each other. And then buildathon means you ideate, you build, and you ship out to public. Buildathon
Okay.
is you building a minimum viable product and you're shipping out to public, to your users, जिसको आपने दिखाना
Okay.
in the end. That is the concept of buildathon, something you might have heard of, build space.
I've heard
So
of it, but I don't know what that is.
so build space is something they do this called thing called nights and weekends. So they
Okay.
this is their season 5 is going on. It started last week. So
Okay.
they do it in a period of 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That you ideate, you build, you reiterate, you build, you take feedbacks, and then you ship
Yeah.
over nights and
Yeah.
weekends with a teammate, solo, anything. So that is the concept of buildathon, which is generalized, which is for everyone. You can build anything. So
Okay.
it is that kind of a thing. Like let's suppose this season I'm building a Notion agency.
Hmm.
Like I've lived on Notion for the last 5 years. I discovered it in 2019.
Notion
So
is the app where you can organize your stuff, right? You can.
yeah, so it is like any like it is like now with the integration and everything, you can manage everything from Notion.
Interesting. Okay.
So like
Continue. Yeah.
everything, even have a calendar in Notion. So multiple emails, one place, everything. So like a
Yeah.
master app kind of thing you call.
Okay.
So I'm building
Okay.
something like that for teams, agencies, organizations. So it is something around that. So buildathon in general is a like broader term that is like very much inclusive of everyone.
Of everyone.
So
Okay. So,
these are like two
eh,
types of things.
do you need a marketing guy when you're doing a build-a-thon? Do you need a marketing guy? Do you need a finance guy to take care of your finances, or is that not necessary?
When you are organizing a buildathon or what?
When you're participating, let's say you have you spoke about building, right? So let's say I'm in a team and I call someone to market my thing after I've built it. Is that necessary?
So then that depends on what you are building. Like let's suppose marketing wouldn't be a necessary thing. It is just like
Okay.
you going 0 to 1 and actually shipping out something to the customers so that the
Okay.
customers or your users so that you can get your feedback and you can work on it. Like
Okay.
this is thing called building in public, right? So
Hmm.
this is the same concept that you work on in buildathons. Like let's suppose you want to make a new app that talks about all the Gen Z problems, everything. So you come, you build, and now you know your ideal customer profile is Gen Zs. So
Okay.
now it depends on you if you want to market, if you don't want to market, if you just want to share it with your network first, then get the feedbacks, then do marketing. But the main aim is to get your product out,
From zero
get
to
them
one.
visibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What are the benefits? Let's say you build a product. Is there money to be made in this space of buildathons and hackathons?
Okay. So if you're from a organizer standpoint or from a
Uh,
participation.
participation standpoint.
Okay, so hackathons generally has prize pools. So hackathons
Okay.
may prize pools are
Okay.
in a way you have first, second, third prize in general, and then you have different track prizes. Let's suppose GitHub came, so GitHub will have a track prize who used their API in the best format. So something like that. So you have like 15, 16 prizes in this sense, and it ranges from like 10 to 50, 60, 70,000. It depends on that.
Okay.
Then for
Okay.
buildathon in general, what my ideology is, you shouldn't have a winner because everyone is building something different. But the track prices can be there. Like
Okay.
buildathon may your end goal would be to get visibility on your product, right? So that you can
Yeah.
make it from 1 to maybe 10.
Okay.
You can go from 1 to 10. So your visibility,
Yeah.
and let's suppose buildathon may you have 300 people offline when you are building. At least you get 300 users on spot, right?
Correct.
300 feedbacks you get on spot.
Correct.
Then leveraging their network, you can get even more. You can iterate more on that 300 feedback. So in total, my ideology would be ki buildathon me you shouldn't have a winner. Even if you have a winner, that would be a collective winner that the participants choose on the basis of voting or anything.
Yeah. Voting. That makes more sense. Correct. Correct.
So buildathon me you have winners like that.
Okay. Now let's say that someone who's watching this is suddenly interested in a buildathon or a hackathon. How does he get started? How does he find the right network?
Okay, so for hackathons in general, there is a the biggest community would be MLH. You can just
What is
search it.
MLH?
MLH is Major League Hacking. It is like a global community which majorly organizes hackathons, events, even like you know, like this data analysis weeks that like a whole week You have multiple sessions, and they teach you XYZ technology, maybe Web3, maybe web dev, anything and everything. So they have these
Okay.
weeks running. They are run on Twitch majorly, but
Okay.
that would be a good place to start with hackathon. Then if you're in India, Devfolio would be a very good place if you want to get started in hackathons. Discord servers is a very good way to Discord. You can find Devfolio servers, Microsoft servers, or maybe some tech communities. They are a very good place to start with. Buildathon, in respect to India, is still very pretty new. It is not
Okay.
a thing that you can see. I am myself trying out a new thing,
Yeah.
and like been building it for the last 8 months, and we are officially doing it in 23rd or 24th of August, around
Can you
that
speak
time.
a little bit about that buildathon that you're building? I would love to know.
Okay, the name is Hack for Bloom. So
Okay.
basically, Hack for Bloom means we helping you bloom from your initial bud. That bud is your idea. So we are a very inclusive community of everyone, anyone. We don't have a restriction on if you are a college student, a school student, a graduate, a 40-year-old. You want to build something, we will help you. How we'll help you how to get started, how to leverage tech into that. We'll help you
Okay.
with that. And
Okay.
then we offline, we have musicians, we have artists, we have tech guys, we have agency builders, social media managers, all that folks coming in. And we are also, just the process of launching the website also, so it will be out in a day or two. And
Yeah.
that is the whole idea of doing it offline. 36 hours, everybody coming in, building, ideating, and yeah, hopefully shipping a lot of products that day.
So where is this happening, if you may answer?
Yeah,
Where
so
is
this is
that offline
happening.
location?
Yeah.
So what is the offline location? That's what I want to ask.
So the offline location would be Chandigarh. The exact
Okay.
location would be shared, like, like it is yet to be decided. We are in talks with few people, but the location would be Chandigarh itself.
Okay. So it's a 36-hour event, and everybody comes in, builds something, and goes out with, they jump from 0 to 1. And then when they leave the place, they have something that they've worked on and something that they can work on further. Right?
Yes, that they liked, that they always wanted to do, maybe.
Correct. Great, man. I think that's something that I would be very excited for. I wish you all the best in that, bro. Good luck. Um, can you talk about challenges from an organizing perspective when you organize events like these?
Okay, first and foremost would be team building. Like for me
Okay.
personally, I would say getting the initial team is the if you get the initial team right, your whole process will look very easy.
How
Like
do
for
you
me,
get the initial team right?
okay, so a little bit background. I've been in communities and everything for the last 4 years. I have
Okay.
previously worked with Blue Learn, so I have connects all over India, and I have been doing growth there itself for
Okay.
1.5 years. So with through that, like I had a lot of exposure personally. So I had a lot of things I learned from people like Aditya Obroy, people who are very big in the industry, from maybe LinkedIn, writing perspective, everything. So from that angle, I knew what I wanted in the initial team. Firstly, I knew what roles I wanted to organize these things offline. I already knew the backend stuff. Plus, from my college, organizing a lot of events like from college fest to everything, I knew what challenges would be there. Plus, initial team should be someone you trust because they are your co-organizers. They lead as much as you lead. So for me, coincidentally, it was my friend itself. Like every we all of us are different. Someone is good in marketing, someone is good at tech, someone is good at ops, someone is good at growth, business partnerships that I lead. So initial team for me, I got lucky. These were all my friends, and we are the initial team. But these are like just four folks, and now I have
Okay.
23 folks in that whole team. So
Okay.
after that, we got another 4 or 5 more people that we have worked with closely. Previously, I have done like drop shipping fairs with them in college.
Hmm.
All
Okay.
a lot of other stuff I have done in college with them. So I knew their work ethic and everything. And plus we are a little on time crunch, so I wanted people that I already knew. So through
Okay.
that, like referrals, interviews, a lot of interviews and stuff, we got like 23, 24 folks, and now they are all working full time on this.
Okay. It was a very interesting question that I thought of when you were saying this. You said that you start working with your close friends, right? And
Yeah.
I've always had this question, and I don't think that it's spoken about enough. But how do you solve a conflict of interest when you're working with, especially people who you know? Because then I think, and I've learned from experience, it becomes a little more complicated to deal with these issues.
Okay, so for me personally, like this conflict has, like, is a very common thing. Like you get a lot of interest. So the thing is that how I work is, let's suppose we divide our work. So if I am leading growth, partnerships, and overall everything, if my friend is leading design and marketing, if anything goes wrong in design and marketing, he's my POC to talk with, right? If there
Okay.
is a conflict of interest, so first of all, when you convince them to join your team, you share them a vision, right?
Okay.
So if he or she is aligned on your vision, then only they will join.
Yeah.
So once the vision is clear, the idea is set, the conflict of interest would be very less. It decreases a lot because you guys are both aligned on the same thing.
Yeah. So
Then
I think
the second,
communication becomes important, right?
yeah, yes, communication is always the
Yeah.
like primary thing. You have to
Yeah.
communicate.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the next thing would be have your roles defined. Like if he's leading marketing, let him lead marketing. Even if he
Okay.
has 6 people in his marketing team, if something goes wrong, my POC would be my friend that this is happening. I don't think it, I think it should go like this. Have a discussion with your team and then let me know. And same thing goes with him. If he gets a lead, he'll tell me because if I go to that guy's team, then the team would be like, what is the role of the person who is leading marketing, right? If I'm directly going to them. So that is one thing. Like if you have segregated roles, respect your roles, respect your department, and keep it to yourself. Don't interfere.
Yeah.
If you have a group discussion, common discussion, like guys, this is going on. I don't think this is going good, but don't do it like team mein. Do it among yourselves. Set a clear picture. Like have a mutual discussion, pros and cons. Discuss kar lo everything. Like we discuss a lot of stuff. We take references from a lot of things, Abhibi. We read
Yeah.
a lot of marketing articles, HubSpot, Pay, everything. We do a lot of stuff, and then we come to a conclusion. If that thing works well, we do it. And
Okay.
being building something very new, you also get the chance of to experiment. So we experiment a lot with content, a lot with marketing, a lot with ideas, because our turnaround time is very less. I can pivot the whole
What
thing in
is
a day.
turnaround time
So
for someone who doesn't know?
turnaround time is basically, let's suppose I did an experiment key I want to go with the red color. Now that red color with the whole vibe doesn't match. Now I don't have to iterate a lot on the process. I can quickly change back to blue because I don't have that burden of that whole legacy or anything of that organization.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
building something
Yeah.
very new. We have the
Yeah.
chance to iterate and find what works best for us.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. So, that's actually very well said. I think that I can take a lot when I want to build something in the future. That's some good advice, man. And let's say there's two guys who are just starting out, right? This is like just the idea phase, like 0 to 0.5, like just starting.
Yeah.
So then they would is do you think it's still necessary to define their roles and put that boundary that this is my department and this is your department? Or do you feel that maybe both of them can just work on everything together to build that bonding first?
Uh, like if you guys are friends, like you know each other, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so for in starting, like if you're two similar folks, then there would be a lot of collision, common interest and everything. So, like if you both of you should know what your strong point is. Like I am good in this, he's good in this, and I personally feel like defining rules in the start is doesn't make a lot of sense. But when you expand, you have a team, you have something, a goal to achieve, and like 10 लोगों का एफर्ट एक चीज पे डालना है doesn't make a lot of sense. it doesn't give a lot of ROI. So that is when we did segregation. I did segregation last 10 days. Mein. Earlier, there was no segregation because now
Okay.
we have a bigger team. We have a lot of things on our plate and we need to get things out quickly. That is
Hmm.
when we did segregation because I cannot put five people efforts in just designing one single post. I need them elsewhere. But initially, everyone was on the same thing. Like we had, I'll brainstorm on website ideas, I'll work on growth strategies, I'll work on marketing, I'll work on ops, venue, everything. We had this much clarity what everyone would be working on because then it quickly ramps up the process. We
Yeah.
have four different things going on at the same time, and we each know what our strong point is.
Yeah.
Like at
Okay.
least we know that 60-70%.
Huh. How I want to talk about the problem of productivity and procrastination. I've always had this question whenever I do something, right? How do these great, how do successful entrepreneurs understand if they're being productive or not? And I just want to know your thoughts on it. According to you, what does a productive day look like?
Mm, I don't know how. I'm not a great entrepreneur or anything. I procrastinate a lot also. But the thing for me, a productive day would be like, I'll give an example. Yesterday was a very productive day for me. Like, so there is not a fixed definition of productivity. It is just about getting things done for me. For me, it is all about getting things done. So for like, let's suppose yesterday I did like quite a stuff that I wanted to do, and I like till I think 3 p.m. itself, I felt I have done enough for today because I was working since 10 a.m. I think 9:30 10 a.m. and I was like super focused. I did all my tasks by 3 4 p.m. So I was feeling I had a very productive day because I had all of my things done, whatever I wanted to do that were on priority, not all the list. Priority things to
Okay.
be done. And
Okay.
productive day for me would be uh, like just keeping your priority. So I do this thing. I have a priority list. So to do list
Okay.
mein I keep my priority tasks at the top.
Hmm.
Three things at the top. This is from, I don't remember, this is from a podcast I listened. So I keep
Okay.
those three things at the top. And when those three things are done, these are the first three. There's this book called Eat the Frog First, if you know. So,
I've heard of it. Yeah. Yeah.
so this book talks about the same thing only. Having the biggest task, the most difficult one that you think that has the most resistance, doing that the first thing. तो आई डू दोज थिंग्स आई कीप माई प्रायोरिटी कि तीन चीजें पहले कर लूंगा उसके बाद आई डू वट एवर आई वॉन्ट मतलब बाकी की लिस्ट में से दोज आर एट लीस्ट लेस प्रायोरिटी तो दोज
Okay.
थ्री थिंग्स आई सेट एवरी डे एवरी सिंगल डे व्हेन आई वेक अप आई सेट दोज थ्री थिंग्स it can be as
Okay.
simple as going to the gym maybe or
Yeah.
hitting legs anything but
Yeah.
those three things have to be that you can set that ये तीन चीजें करूंगा that I know are the most important to be done today then you
Yeah.
can move on to the smaller task.
Um, you spoke about the fact that you're still in college, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to be entering college soon. So, how do you balance college work and the stuff that you're doing? Because I'm sure that a lot of people who are going to college would want to be doing a lot of other stuff on the side too, and they would have the same question.
Okay. Like when I started college, so it was just after COVID 2021. So
Okay.
uh, at that time, I was interning at Geeks for Geeks. So I was lucky enough that I had a like offline college for just 1.5 months.
Yeah.
Until 2022 March, I was online. Like my one semester was
Okay.
completely online.
That's nice.
So
Okay.
at that time, I got a little lucky. But then offline also, uh, colleges, if you look at in general, you get a lot of free time. Like I used to get a lot. Like maybe I had classes, 5 6 classes a day, maybe at max, and I used to have like 1 hour ka lunch break, then few free lectures, everything. So I used to carry my laptop every day वहाँ पे, and I used to work from maybe college sometimes घर आके रात को, so it wasn't like a 9 to 5 वाला thing. So
Yeah.
I could work anytime. So I used to prefer like once I get home I used to work थोड़ी देर बाद 9 10 I said 12 तक I worked. So stuff like that. But they are not easy to manage initially, because initially college is also very new. You meet a
Yeah,
lot of folks, a lot of people.
yeah,
You want to
yeah.
enjoy, go out, but yeah, after a few weeks, 1 or 2 months, you will get into the flow.
Interesting. Uh, I want to speak about, because you're 21 and I'm 18, so you've lived 3 years more than me, right? And some interesting questions that I would love to know. Uh, can we talk a little bit about relationships, if you don't mind?
Yeah,
According to
like
you, do you think that it is a beneficial thing or a thing of distraction for two ambitious guys?
uh, where it is again very conditional
Subjective.
thing. Yeah, no, not even, yeah, subjective also, but it is very conditional thing, about, because it is like two people, it is not just you. So it
Yeah,
also depends on the other person, how he or
yeah,
she is,
yeah.
so, and what your intentions or maybe goal is. So it doesn't, it is not a thing that is very, it is very subjective to everyone. Like,
Correct, correct.
some people have different views, some have very different views. So I stick by a line. This thing is from, I forgot his name. He's that
Uh,
Mirzapur mein, Mirzapur wala actor.
Okay, okay, okay. We'll put it in
So
the
he,
top somewhere. Okay,
yeah,
yeah.
so he came into Raj Shamani's podcast, and
Hmm.
he said this line that love is the meaning of letting go everything. So,
Okay.
like, he's very simple, like too simple, very simple guy, like too simple, down to earth, is lives in a very cool, chill home. So this is a line from him, and I stick by it. I loved it when I heard. So that is the thing, but still, it is very subjective. So it is not, like, personally for me, it is not a thing to explore. Ki I don't believe in that ideology of whole exploring 10,
Hmm.
like 5, 6, anything, but I don't. For me, it is personally not that.
So there again, I think in relationships, it's communication, as we spoke about earlier, is extremely important, right?
Yes,
Your
very.
goals have to align, your visions have to align. So just like in business, I think in relationships as well, there's a lot of communication that needs to be.
Maybe
Uh,
not goals, but the vibe.
yeah, yeah, vibe, and priorities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think lots of, yeah. So yeah, I mean, how else do you think college is helping you? Do you think college life of college is helping you a little bit? Maybe network?
Uh, so I would say college life is gonna be something that you're gonna enjoy, because when you
Yeah,
transition from school, you have a very fixed culture. जैसे हम लोगों का स्कूल होता है कि uh, you have that full 8 to 2 ka school uniform, everything. After 2 you go to tuitions, XYZ stuff,
yeah,
or you go to
yeah.
play, watch GTA, anything.
Hmm.
So college is
Yeah,
something when you explore, like you go, you can go out with your friends anytime you want. You sit with them like whole day, like maybe 8 to 4 ka college hota hai, you sit with them 8 to 4. That is like practically all of your day. पूरा डे टाइम आप उनके साथ होते हो. Then after that, maybe you hit the gym, you play, you go out with them to eat or something. Maybe if you are living in hostel, the hostel में you are completely with them, or anything and everything. So it is a place where you actually explore a lot, know a lot, get to like actually build friends.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
personally, college friends are something that stay with you for a long, long lifetime, because you know them personally, everything. Like you are very chill. Like personally, I've been मेरा बस last year अभी college का, तो how my friends are, like we know each other's ATM ke passcodes. It is like that much level of stuff you get to. So it
okay.
is like that much level. You know people, you live with them, you talk with them. It is that much level of trust you build. But I would say the first 2 years are gonna be, really exciting when you look in perspective of friendship. So initially, if
Okay.
I give you an idea, like once you go into it now, you will actually realize. So initially you will have a group of 10, 15 folks. Next
Yeah.
semester cut down to 7, 8. Next semester maybe completely change friends that you never thought will be your friends.
Yeah. Okay.
Completely
Okay.
changed. Fourth
Okay.
year coming, fourth semester coming, again, 2, 3 friends left. Fifth semester, the people you are with, they'll be your friends lifetime. Done. Third year is when
Okay.
you actually get your friends.
Damn. Okay. Okay. That's some
That is generally
good.
what I have
Yeah.
seen.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, man, we've come almost to the end of the podcast, and I want to circle back to the question that I asked
Yeah.
you earlier, right? Uh, is there anything that you would, any advice that you would give me, or people of my age who are willing to do something that you are doing right now?
Uh, I am not doing anything, super great or something that you want to like take inspiration
You're
from me, but
building five, six things at once. That's crazy. So
I'm not
please.
I'm not building five, six things. I'm building two things in particular. Uh, I
Okay.
have a few ideas that are in building, but not yet anything. But even if you are building two things at a time, uh, I luckily have great teams at both the end. So,
Okay.
and I have like time management again. That is why I focused on. मैंने भी गलतियां करके सीखा how to manage time well. Saying no, a very huge thing you should learn.
Saying no
When to
to
say no.
opportunities or what?
Yeah, even opportunities. I have said no
Okay. Okay.
because
Continue.
sometimes you have to say no. Like let's suppose you are building, you are working at Microsoft. Okay, let's assume,
Hmm.
and you
Hmm.
have been 3 months in Microsoft, and your internship is also almost about to end, but you can get an extension. Now I give you an offer from someone, let's suppose a big tech giant XYZ, and I
Okay.
offer you twice your salary. That is a very lucrative offer. But then you have to again go to a completely new environment. You don't know the people, you don't know the culture fit, you don't know the work ethic, work culture, anything.
Hmm.
But here, you know everything, you know the perks, you have maybe less salary, but you know everyone, you have a good thing already in place. And 3 months
Yeah.
is a very less time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So sometimes saying no is a very good option for your own mental peace.
Okay. Okay. Harshit Mahajan. One last question before we
Yeah.
end this podcast. Uh, Fame in college. What are your thoughts on that? Do you get it now that if do you think it's a good thing because when someone like you, let's say, is successful in building stuff, organizing, making money, growing, uh, do you think that fame that you do you get a lot of that?
I don't want to brag, but yes, like
Okay.
it is. It is at a point. I don't know a lot of folks, but more than half of my college knows me, and I don't
Okay.
know for XYZ reason. Like maybe I have given a session at a place, they know it through them. Maybe my club, I lead the like I am the president of the tech club. Maybe through that, maybe some XYZ other events. But like I have 15,000 folks in my college, and more than half of them knows me. I barely know 100. I would like very bad at remembering names or anything, but I barely know 100.
Okay.
But pros, uh, at some level, yes. Like at some level,
at, s- at some level, I think you get that influence, right? Because of so many people that know you, if you were to say something or maybe post content, do something like that, I think that influence that you get, you can take to your advantage.
yeah. Also, it is not about taking advantage or disadvantage, but I would say I'm not a huge fan. I don't chase numbers. I don't chase following or anything. I just work and I enjoy my work. I just work. Like the process and I leave. I don't do anything else. Like nothing. Ki maine kara. I don't do anything. So sometimes it helps. It builds authenticity, I would say. And
Okay.
besides, like even in teachers, I'm not just saying students, even in faculty, it builds that authenticity. I'll tell you an incident. So from the last year, September, so October, last year September, or even before that, August, I haven't gone to class like for the last 1 year. I haven't
Okay.
gone to class. So October
Okay.
mein we do our annual fest. So since that time till what last semester April, I have I think barely gone to my block 10 times, like if I remember, and I have never been short of attendance, debarred anything. I haven't even
Hmm.
submitted a single document that I was in this event or that event. So the thing is that when you get that fame, or maybe when you get that recognition, not just it is not fame, it is recognition. When you get that recognition, and when you work with that authenticity, the desire to work, it reflects in your personality, that you are actually working. It reflects in your personality. Like I have never even told a single teacher anything that I was in there or there. They already knew,
Hmm.
like maybe
Okay.
my HOD told or anything. But when you work with the authenticity, never work for that advantage. Work if you like the work, work with the passion. You will build that authenticity, and that authenticity lasts. Not what you did, how you do it, that lasts. Like
Okay.
building and build a network. Build a network, bro. Even in college, outside college, anything, know people,
Build
like have a bond with them. I am not saying talk to them every day, but build a network, build relations, not just network, build relations. That
build
is
relations.
going to help you a lot.
Okay. Harshit Mahajan. I don't normally like saying this stuff, but I feel like throughout this podcast, what makes you so great. I feel like this was a great episode, and what made it so great is because of your clarity of thoughts. I feel like you were really clear in your ideas, and the way you explained it was very simplistic. So if anyone's watching, I think that something that you should learn from him is great communication and how he
Yeah,
expresses his value of thoughts. And that's something that I've been observing since the time that you've been speaking, man. So I wish you all the best, bro. It was a great 40 minutes. I
thank
feel like
you.
I don't think that this is the last time we'll be doing this. I'd love to invite you again to have a longer conversation about
Yeah,
maybe after you build-a-thons and other stuff.
sure.
We can talk a lot about that. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you so much for coming. Have a great day.
My pleasure, really loved it. Like next time let's have it offline, let's record offline.
Sure. Done,
Maybe
done.
come to
100%.
my place, we'll record, rent a studio and
Yeah.
record it.
Done, done, done. Thanks,
Yeah,
man. Thanks a lot for your time.
thank you, really means a lot.